In September 2019, I made a decision that would change the lives of anyone who ever mattered to. I decided that I had enough and made plans to take my own life. I felt like my life was spiraling out of control and that I was becoming a burden of everyone around me. Luckily, it didn't get to that point, because as I was writing the note to my daughters, the note that I still have, I was called by my best friend, who now happens to be my fiance, and she got me to open up. I tried to cover it up like nothing was wrong, but she prodded, and eventually I broke down. The simple action of someone asking me, "Are you okay?" was just too much. I couldn't hold it together any longer. And I broke down and I confessed to what I was going to do. This incident changed the course of my life in so many ways, and it was the beginning of my journey that has brought me to where I am today. For over 10 years, I've been deep into the mindset work in an attempt to try and fix myself and figure out what is going on, what was wrong in my mind, and why did I feel the way I felt. But for all the reading and understanding that the books give me, the knowledge that I accrued, something still didn't feel right. It wasn't until I started with the plant medicines that I was put into a position where I had to find the courage to just dig down deeper and discover what was going on. The plant medicines forced me to acknowledge what was true and made me go inside and accept and acknowledge the pains that I was hiding, the pains that I was suppressing. This helped me to begin to discover who I truly was, and it forced me to start acknowledging the past traumas that I weren't ignoring and begin the healing process. It's only this last 2 years, as I've matured and the plant medicine journey has deepened, that I have started to connect with myself and discover who I truly am. I've begun to connect with myself, recognize and release all those traumas that have been holding me back, those unconscious programs that have dictated my life's actions, the programs that caused me to act a certain way, a way that was no longer served me any purpose, and in fact was the cause of so much of my frustration and pains in adult life. And it's through this deep dive of trying to reconnect and reawaken the I within that I discovered the power to be found in a healing process, found in connecting with other men. How it is one of the most fundamental and crucial aspects of healing. And it's something that most men of my generation are fearful of doing because, let's be honest, we don't know how. We were never shown. No one ever taught us what to do because our fathers didn't know and their fathers didn't know. And this has been a generational problem for so many years. We grew up, lived and still continue to live where the foundational idea of what a man should be has been purposely twisted so that it leads to confusion, frustration and anger. No wonder so many men take their own lives, because we feel lost. We don't know what it is to be a man anymore. I told myself I could do it alone. That not only did I not need help, but I didn't want help. Help to me was weakness. But the truth was, it was me feeding my ego a story that made me feel safe, but was destroying my life. And so many other men are in the exact same position, struggling to acknowledge they need help and unsure of how to ask for it. And men are fantastic actors. Looking in from the outside, I had my shit together. My life was brilliant. I had a successful gym, beautiful daughters, great friends, enough money to enjoy life. But inside, I was dying. I was just a terrified little boy. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I was winging it. I felt like there was nowhere to run and I had no one to turn to. I was always on the defensive. I was terrified of judgment from other people, and I was terrified to fail. I was worried that if I did fail, all my fears that I felt would be exposed to everyone else and everyone would judge me and laugh at me. So I bottled them up and I pretended everything was okay and I just got on with my shit. But inside, my soul was in turmoil. And going through my own journey these last 2 years, it has exposed me to where I was going wrong. As they say, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But in all these feelings was a gift. Because in my feelings, I can see the fears and feelings of other men. I can see it in their actions, I can see it in their body language, I can hear it in their tonality. And this scares me. It terrifies me. It terrifies me to see just how many men, both the men that I know and men that I just meet, are willing to stay in this existence of fear, trying to pretend everything's okay and never having the confidence to ask for help. And the truth is, we're living a lie. So many of us are going through our everyday lives, struggling to stop the mask from slipping so that no one actually sees the pain we're in. This is not living, this is existing. This is torture, this is punishment. You deserve more. And there's more out there for you. You can try and lie if you want, but people like me can see the pain you're in. We can see it in the traits that we had ourselves. And we just want to grab you and tell you, it's okay. You don't have to do this alone. There is help out there, there's support for you. You just need to ask for it. I recognize me in you. through your traits, through your actions, because I was once where you are. I didn't see a way out. I felt like I was drowning, wasting all my energy just to keep my head above water. It's a horrible, dark place. And it's made even more dark when you think you're alone and you can't ask for help. We've got this idea of what a man is, and we live up to that image. But that image is killing us slowly but surely. This is not how it used to be. And my story is written across the faces of so many men I see on a daily basis. We can't continue down this road. Something has to give. Something has to give. We deserve more. Our children deserve better. But without the support, what can we honestly do? And that's the problem. There is no support for men out there. Health services are completely underfunded and overrun. They don't have the capacity or the capability to cope with the sheer amount of volume of men needing help. And so that's why I'm starting this sharing circle. No, I'm not an expert. No, I don't have a degree to show my qualifications. But what I do have is actual real life experience. This is something you don't learn from books. This is something you only learn from going through the actual ordeal yourself. Yes, the experience you may have may be different, but the principles of what you're going through will be the same. And we're all men here. We've all got emotions, we've all got hearts, we've all got feelings and worries and concerns. And the only thing you need to truly get through that day is to know you're heard. So what I have is more valuable than a degree. It's experience. I have the ability to listen. I have the ability to help. I have the facility and the time. I have the empathy and understanding from my own personal experiences. And I'm in a position where I now have the confidence to be able to open up and share my own personal experiences. And hopefully, those shared experiences will help you realize that you are not going through this alone. Hopefully, me sharing my pains, my experiences, how far I've come, will pave the path for other men to open up and just let that built up energy out. I have the ability to listen to men as they share their pains. And that's something that we're missing. Listening to others. We're so keen to speak that we forget we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as often as we speak. As a man, I know what it's like. I didn't and still don't want anyone to do this for me. I must go through this process myself. This is my journey and it's your journey. But I also know that having the support of other men in your life, that support network, that ability to just unleash and vent, is all that most of us need to get ourselves to the next stage, to get ourselves out of that dark hole that we feel alone in. As long as I can vent my frustrations, I know that I can cope. I know that I can get through the next day, the next week. I know this because this is what we're designed to do. We're men. Our job is to shoulder the burdens of our family, to shoulder the burden of our children, to carry them when they're unable, to provide for them, to protect them. We are their rocks. But even the strongest of rocks can be shaken by life. And when this happens, as long as we know we have a place where we can vent our frustrations, we can be heard, we can release the anger, we can cry. If we have somewhere where we feel safe to do all this, secure, knowing that we're not going to be judged, we're not going to be laughed at, then we're good to go. We know we can get through the next day. And this is all that men are missing. It's not a cure, but it is a starting point. Healing is hard. It's painful. It's exposing the self that you have hid away for so many years. It's the most terrifying experience you can go through because you are exposing your soul to the world. The fears that you have held in since childhood is about to be unleashed, and everyone will see you in your raw, purest form. And that vulnerability creates fear in so many of us. But this is what healing is, and it can feel overwhelming. It is overwhelming, and that is why there's so much power to be found in an environment with other strong men, all on the same path, all with one goal, to heal themselves so that they can help heal others and they can help their children and their families progress and evolve. When we surround ourselves with other men on a similar life path, we can feel their power, we can feel their strength, we take in their energy, we drink it in, and we are able to express our own true emotions. And it's through that expression that we free ourselves from the chains of our past. So that is why I've decided to open up a men's sharing circle each Monday night at 8 p.m. in Primal Strength and Movement. This is just a place where you can come, be heard, vent your frustrations, cry if you feel the need to, and do so in a non-judgmental environment. In fact, an environment that is going to support you and allow you the space needed to do this. When we release this dead negative energy, We create space for the powerful man we all can become. Each and every one of us, there's a man inside crying to get out. The man that we desire to be, the man that we want our children to admire, our wives to admire, that we can admire. We want to look in the mirror and be proud, but the weight of the world is just weighing us down, and it's free. I'm not going to charge for this. I want a session where men feel they can just open up. This is just for you to be you and feel heard. We're going to close each session with a 20-minute meditation that's going to allow you to connect with yourself, learn breathing patterns and coping mechanisms that will help you get through the stressful times. For me, this is my calling. I know with all the coaching experience I've had, coupled with my knowledge and personal experiences, that I've been blessed with the ability to help other men. And I know that when men get together and give themselves permission to just be men, express ourselves like men, talk through our problems, be felt to be heard and seen, that we, as men, can come to our own conclusions about how to solve our own problems. We don't need other people to solve them for us. We have the answers within. We just need to be allowed to be expressed them to get to that point.